Well, it's Monday the 9th of April 2018 and it's the morning of the second day on the new Syndicate Lake. I haven't done much recording until now, trying my best to catch a fish, but it's been pretty slow going. So its conditions are still pretty cold. We've had quite a bit of rain as well, just making excuses of course, but no, I haven't had anything at all. But there's been a few lads come and go on the lake and nothing's been out. I believe there's only been one 14-pound fish caught this year, just because of the absolute crappy weather we've had at the back end of this winter. So it's still not great, it's still not good conditions really. We just went into double figure temperatures yesterday, but then it just dropped down to about 3 or 4 during the night. Next week however, we've got really good high doubles to 18 degrees, which is typical. Chose this week instead of next week, but we can make the most of it. I've still got at least another 5 days left. I'm up until Friday. If I'm going to stay till Friday we'll see, but normally I probably will. But I want to make the most of it while I'm here. I want to try and catch a fish on the first session of the Cindy. But I'm going to set and do quite a few vlogs all year on the place, as well as the French sessions as well. I cancelled the April French session purely just to pay for this. I thought, well, instead of driving around the rest of the UK, the day ticket waters and paying an absolute fortune, this one is very, very close to home. However, there is a ban on advertising, so I'll certainly be able to show you the fish, but I can't tell you the lake. Yes, I want to focus my attention on this lake this year, with the intention of staying on for quite a few years as well. It's really young water, but I think it's going to go a long way. I think it's going to be a massive waiting list to get on it within the next couple of years. There's an otter fence all the way around it as well. It's nice and secure, it's out the way. The owner's absolutely spot on, and I actually know a couple of the bailiffs from previous syndicates and waters I've visited previously over the years. So good all round, really impressed with the place. Just haven't caught a fish yet, need a fish.
Where have you been, my blue-eyed son? And where have you been, my darling young one? I stumbled down the side of 12 misty mountains. I've walked and I've crawled on 6 crooked highways. I've been 10,000 miles in the mouth of a graveyard. It's a hard, and it's a hard, and it's hard, and it's a hard, it's a hard rain. It's gonna fall. Oh, what did you see, my blue-eyed son?
5 nights left. Al's gone. I put all the rods back out. I've got a rod off towards that stew over there. Must be 110 metres out. Next one is again, see where this one is? In line with that swan. At about 125. That one in there. The next one is right away over here. And it's about 3 rod lengths off that tree. And that must be at least 90 metres. At least. And the fourth one is right the way down the margin in about 7 foot water. The bottom is very up and down. There's big bars, depths down to about 28 foot. That slowly runs up in the middle, well, I think like a sunken island, about there. And it comes up to 4 foot and then goes right back down and drops off really sharp just behind it. there's a weed bed about 1.5 length off the bank for another 15 metres, 20 metres. So I can imagine them in the summer patrolling the margins. Conditions are absolutely horrendous. It's rained for the past 13 or 14 hours. I've got the wind coming right in my face now. Well, it's lunchtime on Tuesday the 10th of April, and I'm now on lockdown in my bivvy. It's been constantly shotting it down for the past 13 hours, and I think I've got a bream on one of my rods. It's bleeping its backside off. So I'm going to wait till it dries up a bit, and then I'm going to attempt to go and change that rod over. But for now, I'm going to do sweet FA, and I'm going to sit in here where it's nice and warm, because it's about 6 degrees outside. It's freezing cold, blowing a gale. But at least I've caught up on my sleep. Let's see, I've still got another 3 or 4 days left, so I'm going to stick at it and hopefully try and bag one fish before I get myself homeward bound. Conditions are absolutely horrendous. Temperatures drop right down to about 6 degrees. So I'm just chilling out in the bivvy, gonna get sorted, and hopefully we can get amongst the fish. As I say, it's my 4th night now, so fingers crossed. My first fish out of the syndicate. 16-pound mirror, absolute bar of gold it is, and feisty. Taking on a 15-16mm dumbbell pop-up. Fish with a club mix, about 1.5 inches off the bottom, on a runny rig. Lovely. Nice big scales on it. Gorgeous fish. Nice frame. I was getting gremlins. Oh, I was. Well, I finally had my first fish of 2018, and it's on the first session of my syndicate as well. It's only a small one at £16, but yeah, really happy with that. Really worked my bloody socks off these last few days. Bait boat tactics, checking out different depths, moving the rods about, just fishing really light. No more than 10 boilies, and I caught that one. Actually did put a bit of pellet out as well, a little bit of halibut pellet, just to help it sit properly in the boat more than anything else. And at least 10 to 15, 20mm club mix, put through the cutter as well, so the half bats. Did I put a stringer on that one as well? Yeah, I put a stringer on it as well, so I had a few baits around it. Just because in that depth of water, even at 14 foot, 15 foot, I want to make sure there's just a few little bits on the hook bait. But it's worked, so fingers crossed. Put the rod back out again, in the same spot, which was a bit of a nightmare because the fogs came in. But yeah, fingers crossed I can have 1 or 2 more, but that's it, my session's made, my first session of the year, and I finally got a fish. So yeah, it was a lovely little fish. I'm quite impressed with myself. So yeah, going to bed a happy chappy. Well, it's Thursday the 12th, and despite that fish the night before last, and I built myself up to thinking, stayed up late with bite time last night thinking there was a good chance of getting one, nothing happened. I think that northerly wind has just finally put paid to absolutely really any chance. It's been smashing into this south part of the lake for 4 days solid now, The rain yesterday was just sideways, so it made no difference with the peak on the bivvy, it was getting in the door anyway. So I've spent a lot of time locked down in the bivvy this trip, which hasn't been great. Back's done in. And those who know me, I've got a severe bad back. So I need to be able to move about freely and do what I do. But yeah, quite impressed with the place. I'm over the moon, to be fair. This session is already made better than my last year, my whole year last year. Even though I did well on Shanty, well I done well, I got a 71 cat and a 40 pound common. Really I should have done a bit better. But yeah, first session of the year, it's still proper winter conditions as well, and I managed to bag one. But nothing else. But the forecast for next week, it gradually builds up from Saturday and then Sunday, and next week it's going to be 20 degrees, and it's about 4 out there at the moment. It's freezing cold. The reason you can't see me breath is because I've got the bivvy heater on just below you, and a cup of tea in my hand as well. Right, all packed down, just pre-baited for the next session with 3.5 kilos of the trusty club mix and 20 mils. So I've had a good chuck about with it all around the swim I've fished. I will come and fish the same swim again next time I'm here. But yeah, home, shower, shave, nice hot food. I might even go to a KFC on the way home. I'll phone the boss if he fancies one. Well, morning. It's 7:20 on the Saturday the 21st of April, and I've come down for my second session on the Syndicate. I didn't do much filming or anything yesterday. I thought I'd concentrate on getting myself nice and comfortable, get my spots found again. I've come a little bit further round on the lake, which is in a wooded area, so I can still access the same baited spots that I was putting the bait in from the last session I was here. So yeah, first night on of my second session, and I've got another fish. It's in the sling, early hours of this morning. It's only a mid-double, so nothing big, but well, very welcome. First morning of the second session, managed to bag myself another one. A nice 14.5 pound mirror, taken off the baited spot, no more than about 60 yards. Some really short range work in just under 7 foot of water on a 10mm club mix pop-up fish Ronnie rig style at about 3:30 this morning. Happy chappy. Well, it's 9:30. Done all the photographing and stuff for that 14.5 pound mirror earlier on this morning, and I've had another one about 20 minutes ago on the same spot again, but this was only a real small pasty, no more than £9, so I didn't photograph it, I just put it straight back. But yeah, 2 fish off the same spot. So do I put 2 rods in it? I don't like fishing 2 rods really close together. I'm not too sure what to do. But I can't see much happening during the day, not with the sunshine. But the forecast is for a bit of a change in conditions, a bit of rain this afternoon, so we'll see how that goes. But I want to make sure that I'm going to boat the rods back out, back on the perfect spot later on, because that one I just recast, clipped it up, recast it, and that's where I get the £9 from as well. So yep, both taken on a club mix 10mm pop-up. And the first one was boated out, fished with about 10 to 15, 20 mils and a handful of pellet. and then when I recast the rod back out, and that's when I've had the 9 pounder as well, so it was just a single upbait. I changed the upbait over, but I'd cast it straight back out, close to the spot. So yeah, it's producing, but nothing big. But this particular spot where I'm fishing gets really weedy, and I've only probably got another maybe 3 to 4 weeks before it absolutely gets choked with weed. So I might have to start thinking about locating and identifying other spots. I do like fishing into the weed, or even weed beds or old weed beds. I just think that the amount of naturals that do occur where the weed is, I think it just attracts the fish. I know they're pretty nomadic on this place, but that was my first port of call. I'm not one for chasing fish around, as you know. If you know me, I've got a really bad back, so I'm not one for getting packed up and moving across the lake and chasing the fish all over the place. So I would rather set my stall out. So if I set my stall out somewhere near a weed bed where I know they like to congregate and they are attracted to it with the amount of naturals there, and introduce a bit of bait, maybe I've got about 3 or 4 weeks on this particular peg that I can fish until it becomes unfishable. So I might try and fish against the weed beds from a different angle and a different peg next time. But talking to Dennis said you'd be amazed. 1 week you'd be in the weed, will hardly be up. Next week it'll be absolutely chock-a-block right to the surface. So I'm going to try and make the most of this spot I'm using, the spot I'm baiting up, and the spot I'm catching fish from. Because I don't know how long I actually have it. But overall I'm very impressed with the place, very impressed. I haven't caught anything big, but you've got to be realistic when you're fishing places like this. It's close to home, it's literally 27 minutes from my doorstep, and it's got a good head of stock, good head of fish, and I'm putting a bend in my rod. I'm getting some confidence, which is good after last year's absolute burnout would be the best way to describe it. But yeah, it's given me a lot of confidence. I know I've only caught a few small ones, but it is only my second session on here as well. I've had 3 fish, so I can't really complain at that. And I've had a good mess about this morning with some footage and stuff like that. And I've got myself a new GoPro, so I got some underwater footage this morning, which was absolutely amazing. I was really impressed. So hopefully this one will last longer than the other 2 did, because I have a habit of breaking them. Still the first morning. It's about 11:30 now. And I've had my 3rd fish, 17.5 pound, absolute beautiful, pristine. Look at the size of the scales on that. Gorgeous fish. Conditions have changed now, so I've got the wind coming into me, and hopefully I can keep the fish here. 3rd fish of the session. Nice big, fully scaled. Off he goes. There's your 10mm Club Mix pop-up, fish 1 week style. Helicopter presentation.
When I go, don't cry for me. In my Father's arms I'll be. The wounds this world left on my soul will all be healed, and I'll be whole. Sun and moon will be replaced with the light of Jesus' face, and I will not be ashamed, for my Savior knows my name. It don't matter where you bury me, I'll be home and I'll be free. It don't matter anywhere I lay. All my tears be washed away. Gold and silver blind the eye, temporary riches lie. store. Come and drink and thirst no more. So weep not for me, my friend, when my time below does end. For my life belongs to him who will raise the dead again. It don't matter where you bury me, I'll be home and I'll be free. It don't matter anywhere I lay. All my tears be washed away. All my tears be washed away.
£24 and a few ounces. Taking on about 15 to 20. Chopped 20ml club mix. Fish with a 10ml club mix pop up, Ronnie rig style. You know what, 8 foot of water. Absolutely buzzing. Beautiful fish.
Mint out there.
Yeah. Beautiful condition, aren't they?
Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful condition. Moving on with it. Well, it's 7 o'clock in the morning on Monday the 23rd of April, and it's time to go home. So I'm packing up. I've been up about half an hour. No fish last night. Bit of change of conditions. It was a colder one last night, and the wind changed. I went down the opposite way of the lake, so probably pushed the fish out. But good hit. Second session on the lake. 5 fish. 2 pasties. That lovely 24 pounds, 24.8 ounce it went.
When it came to pass, glory passed me by. Fate with a single blow, his custard pie.